I think that legends are made in the last few minutes of a game, and that Trinidad Chambliss, I'm that was so incredible. Whenever we were watching, there was 18 seconds left. My wife is saying, "Well, that's it." I said, this guy is legendary college. They'll be talking about him as as a football player, as a leader, as a quarterback with some of the great big stories of the past. I mean,
Welcome into Tiger Square College Football Podcast, where two guys who believe that silverware at a dinner party are optional try to discuss the complexities of college football. And to make matters worse, one of them has now dragged Thea farther into their farce. I apologize in advance.
And welcome into a special edition of the Tiger Squared podcast where Shane and I are making final frontiers. Uh, and we're breaking walls. And we're going to do one of the last podcasts here with a special guest, home father, Jimmy Aber, live from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And we're going to be asking him to come on today as the season starts to wind down to help join us, get his thoughts on the past games, and we're also going to do a preview section today. I know we're a little late, but we've never claimed to be professionals here. But we're going to do a recap today of the semifinal games with Miami, Ole Miss, Indiana, Oregon. Uh, that anything to say to the dozens and dozens of fans that only watched the first minute of our show?
I am excited to be here. I wish it would have worked out whenever we were in the frozen tundra to do this, but oh well, it looks like the Wi-Fi waves don't work very well up whenever it's 45 below zero. So
Very true. Very
glad to be
true.
in the South in the Southeastern Conference land. So I'm wearing my tiger for Tiger Squared. I got my tiger. It's versatile. It can be an Auburn Tiger, it could be LSU Tiger, or a Clemson. Very versatile cater. So there you go.
All
Nice.
right.
Yeah, welcome in, Mr. Jimmy. Appreciate you being on, and this is going to be fun, regardless of we mess up, we get it perfect or whatever. Just here to have a little fun.
Yeah.
So and welcome into Tiger Square. Sorry, we've had some difficulties, but we are gonna do this recap, and then we're gonna do a preview show, and then we'll probably have one more after Monday, Jason, just to
For sure. Yeah, we got to finish
transition
it.
into our little downtime. Yeah, and
Hmm.
then pick it up around spring, and then we'll fall, but we'll figure all that out. No need to talk about it now, Jason. Let's talk about these games.
All right. Let's go. Miami Ole Miss, 31-27. What a great game. Um, they were, in my opinion, those games really good that weekend, uh, but in different ways, completely different. This was a thriller. And for any people out there that have had any criticisms about playoff formats. It's ruining the game. This is what we signed up for. Like this should have been the product and the reason that you have the playoff games. I mean, you have teams from different conferences putting polar opposite things. You have drama going on with coaches leaving. This um, Miami at the kind of traditional blue blood back in the playoff. It was just a great. And I want to go like through to say that I, I apologize to all Ole Miss fans. I shortchanged this year. I thought without a coach, you guys were going to be like the Israelites walking around in the desert without any leadership, any true nation. I was wrong. And going on record, y'all, Ole Miss played their hearts out. They had all the fight. It was just like a Rocky movie. Every time it felt like Ole Miss was down, they just got back up. Went into the game thinking Miami was the better team. They left saying either team could have won that game. It went back and forth. And also, I got to go on record, Shannon. You and I have been very critical on Preston Beck. He pulled it through, man. He showed moxie, he showed poise, he showed Heisman potential, he showed first round potential. He had ice in his vein when his team needed the most on the last drive. He put him all the way down the field, put it in the end zone himself. It was just a great game. And I think if we would have played another quarter, I think you would have still got the same Madison football, maybe a different winner. Ole Miss, I know we've are removed from the finale of that game, but you should have your head held high. I fought its tails off and could have and should have maybe won that game. Uh, in the future, we were talking before we went on air today. Ole Miss, I think you're in the ring now. Y'all have that taste of success. I think there's no going back. I don't know the year that you're having this year, but y'all are back in the hunt. Your hat's in the ring. Y'all are big contenders year in, year out. I think for sure. Y'all showing support. Y'all able to collect NIL money. You can get players in. You got something to stand on the wall, so to speak. And you were the last SEC team standing. So good job, Ole Miss. Dan, what was your thoughts?
I think that legends are made in the last few minutes of a game, and that Trinidad Chambliss, that was so incredible. Whenever we were watching, there was 18 seconds left. My wife is saying, "Well, that's it." I said, this guy is legendary college. They'll be talking about him as as a football player, as a leader, as a quarterback with some of the great big stories of the past. I mean, I said, I'm not going to count this dude out, and that was so true. I mean, in 18 seconds, and and they'll be talking about it in Ole Miss. Should that have been a flag and give him one more try or not? But the bottom line is he had the ball in the end zone for the winning score. Oh my gosh, was that to the last second? I mean, never let that be forgotten that it could be Ole Miss in that final game. So, and what else surprised me? They talk about Lane Kiffin with his magic of his brain and being able to figure things out. No, they were strong in both defensive and offensive lines. Their
Very
line stood toe to toe with Miami and has all year. Their lines have been great. So that's physicality, which is Indiana. I mean, that and everybody else and Miami. So that's probably what surprised me, totally surprised me this year is how strong their line is and getting stronger. So
They look good.
anyway, what a fun game. What a fun
Yes, it
game.
was. Dan?
Yeah, yeah. I tell you what. I mean, that game, to me was just one of those that you'll look back on and probably, even though you're not a fan of either one or, they're not your number one team, probably going to watch that game again. If you see it, if you're scrolling through the TV, you're probably going, yeah, I really want to watch this, And it kind of, there's not a lot of games that, postseason college football games that I can say that top that. I mean, I can think of Boise State and was it Oklahoma? I think
Years ago.
yeah, yeah. I think that. I mean, and there's the Texas one too. But I think to me the Boise State Oklahoma was probably the best postseason college football game. But hats off to Ole Miss and what they have done. Not only just having a successful year, but now, throwing your hat in the ring or whatever, but it's also Recruitville now. It's like, oh man, look at this beautiful campus. Look how the fan base is. They're excited and, maybe I should consider them. I mean, obviously transfer portal stuff too, but I think just getting high school recruits out there. Hey, I can go there and play in front of a big audience. They're going to be televising our games at 2:30 every Saturday, especially if they're against LSU, Alabama, Miami. Hats off to you, man. Carson Beck. I I was rooting for that guy when he left Georgia because when I saw him play at Georgia, he did a really good job, but it was hard to root for him because he played for Georgia. So
Yes.
I had to wait for him to, when he went to Miami, and Jason, you and I talked about this. I said, watch out. I mean, this is probably before the season started. I said, I think Carson Beck's going to do magical things in Miami, man, and they may be there at the end of the year. And they got there, and Ole Miss too, man. I mean, I hate it because it doesn't matter. They're going to lose either way with Indiana, I think. But it was a hell of a game to watch. And I was telling Jason, like, that last play, even though he got pass interfered, whatever, he almost was able to tip that back to his receiver who was right to his right behind him. And what a finish that would have been. Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh.
Yeah. We'd be talking about that. We're going to talk about that game, but if that was the finish, we'd be talking about that for years to come. And probably would beat out the kick six a little bit.
Oh,
I don't know. Nah, probably
Um,
not. Yeah, no.
I can't
No,
think of
you're right.
magical.
It was. It's hard to beat that. That is. But anyway, I digress. Jason, I think either one of those teams, a couple more minutes, it could have been a different outcome, but it is what it is, man. Hats off to Miami, and they're gonna, be playing the winner of the next game that we're going to talk about. I'm going to shoot it to Jason. What that game is, the big boys of Indiana and the not so big boys of Oregon. What you
Oregon.
got, Jason?
I mean, the score 56-22, and I don't even think it was that, honestly.
It
no, it
I
wasn't.
wasn't.
don't even, and holy crap, what a display of just raw. I am going to win, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. I mean, they lined up from the moment. I mean, they had 7 points on the board in the Heisman Trophy. The winner wasn't even on the field yet. They were, I mean, you just knew from the first play.
Very first play, man. Just boom. Like, oh my God.
And they did not let up. I mean, I, I don't know what, there's a lot to, really not a lot to say about it, but there is. That was just fun to watch. It reminded me of a vintage Bama team in a sense. I mean, they just lined up and just did not who you were and what the mom was sick, if your daddy was missing in action. They didn't. They just made them feel so bad. And I was like, it was almost hard to watch in a sense. And then I ran across something about, and I'm not sure if it's a clickbait, uh, Indiana had some film or some TV or something. I don't know, science there, whatever. Oregon could have been in their playbook and have a copy of their playbook and still lost. There was nothing that Oregon could have done that day to even come close. I like the more and more I watch this Indiana team and Spignetti and apologize for enunciating that right, but man, he's just so fun to watch. It's a little smart whenever they just get in, like he's fun to watch. I like him at the podium. He gives off good energy, and I don't, I don't outside of 2019 LSU, I don't know who could beat them, honestly. And even then, that would probably be a good game. Um, Dad, any thoughts?
So I remember seeing a bald eagle when I went to Alaska. Time, not this time, but the time before, and that Indiana coach has that stare of a bald eagle. Like you're right. He goes, I am apex predator. All of you that I see are my food. And that is he's got the bald eagle. I am going to kill you. You understand that. Just as long as you understand. And that whole side of the bracket though was lopsided. I mean, remember what Oregon did to Texas Tech. That was, I mean, where did it happen to Texas Tech? And then the next game. So whatever, it's so weird. On one side of the bracket, you have really close, awesome games, and the other, you get a blowout. That's why you love sports, man. You just don't know what's going to happen that day. Yeah, Indiana's the better team, but I'd like to see Oregon on a on another day. It was not that day. Someday you're the bug, someday you're the windshield. It was not Oregon's day at all. But yeah, that coach Signetti, yeah, he's Saban with a personality.
I like
Saban
that.
with a personality.
I
So
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
You know,
Jimmy?
have you guys ever been to a wrestling event in person?
yeah,
Okay. Jason?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, when I was growing up in upstate South Carolina, we had, I think it was the NWA or something like that, but yeah, National Wrestling Association, not NWA from Compton, but um, and it was like Ric Flair and Wahoo McDaniels and people like that. And the point I'm getting at is, if you ever went to one of those wrestling events, you would have the undercard, and the wrestlers would get a little bit better or more popular there towards the end, but they would never put two really good wrestlers face to face unless it was the main event. Like maybe a Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair would be the main event. Well, this reminds me of Andre Giant, wrestling Junkyard Dog and the underscore that just gave him a sacrifice. I mean, it was such a beatdown. Indiana looked like, we have more to prove than anybody out here. We have everything to lose. We want it more. And just a dominant team in every respect, and it was impressive. It was really impressive to watch. Oregon's not a bad team. Oregon is not a bad team at all. And you're right about the lopsidedness of the brackets. That's definitely spot on. And Indiana's not even tired. I mean, they could have been playing the band in the fourth quarter, and
Right.
Oregon still wouldn't have won. So I mean, put a cheerleader in at quarterback, no, and I think it still would have been the same result. So
Yeah.
what a dominant team, and yeah, Joe Burrow's 2019, um, you know, 2003 Auburn Tigers who went undefeated in the SEC and didn't win a national championship. That's
This guy.
that was a pretty good team too. But anyway, great game. And impressed with Indiana. You beat Ohio State, you beat Alabama, and then you beat Oregon
Yeah.
in a month span, and you didn't just beat them. You whooped up on all of them. And so, whatever we were thinking about Indiana throughout the year, just scratch that, because they proved in that 4 week span that they're the most dominant team in college football this year.
Yes, I
But I
think
wouldn't say they dominated Ohio State. That was a close game, but there was no fluke either. They went
Yeah.
right in there and they won. But even more hats off to them. It makes you wonder about Day and his. I'm sure Ohio State fans have to be. They're getting impatient. They're like LSU fans and all, like Southeastern Conference fans. At one point, do you get frustrated you know, with somebody who's winning like that? What do you do? But other than to say that's the reality of the days, especially with NIL now, dude, you just, you know,
well,
but
Day and them
Indiana
won it
showed a
last
lot
year.
of things in a lot of ways. So
Yeah.
not about 4-star, 5-star people.
Yeah, I saw some stat or something about how many versus the other teams, and
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Team of Destiny, Moxie,
Real
Grit,
big.
just like I don't care how big and bad they're gonna win. They're
Yeah.
fun this year, and we're gonna save any thoughts on maybe BYS going into it and get a sense of what direction all three of us are going to go whenever we do our preview of the national championship game. Guys, anything else? Have it up.
Go Broncos, Bo Nix. Good luck today versus Buffalo.
Would agree.
Bills. Go Bills, finally. Please win one. Win one. Win one. I mean,
One, right?
win one Super Bowl. I mean, it's some
I'm not going to be disappointed if Buffalo wins today. They better win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They better win the Super Bowl.
And
would
I am a
agree.
Sean Payton fan, by the way. I'm kind of pulling for Denver too because I like Sean Payton. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
then yeah, we talked again for there. I'm a fan either way. Sean Payton connecting with New Orleans, John Elway. But this is a college football. So without any further ado, I'm wrapping it up. Please like, please subscribe, please share. Hopefully, now that we've got some real talent in for Shane and I's podcast, we can double our numbers here. We might have to boost him up a little bit and get him to help boost their numbers. But,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on the show today. Appreciate it.
thank
Some
you,
really good
guys.
thoughts. And hopefully, we're going to have you back for the preview of the national championship game. But thank you for watching. For Tiger Squared, I'm Jason. Go Tigers. And for Shane,
War Eagle.
War
Eagle.